all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for listening in. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Here's everything that you need to know at the start of your day. First, the usual COVID-19 update. India's daily increase in cases continues to remain under the 50,000 mark in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday. The total tally now stands at over 82 lakh, out of which 75.4 lakh individuals have recovered, according to data released by the Health Ministry. In the top news, the central government has raised 6,000 crore rupees in market borrowings and passed the amount as loans to 16 states and 3 union territories for meeting the shortfall in goods and services tax collections. The amount is the second tranche of back-to-back loans given to those states and union territories that chose the first of 2 options given to them to meet the GST compensation shortfall. GST collections, remember, fell earlier this year due to the COVID-19 outbreak and slowing economic activity prior to the pandemic, which resulted in lower compensation to states. In other news, India has extended the government-guaranteed rescue package for small businesses to allow more businesses to avail of such loans during the festive season, which, as you know, is generally a seasonally strong period for businesses. The Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme has been extended till the 30th of November or until the entire amount of 3 lakh crore rupees is sanctioned, whichever is earlier, according to a Ministry of Finance statement. The registration of residential properties in Mumbai metropolitan region during October has risen 36% year-on-year to 7,929 units on higher demand during the festive season and on account of the reduction in stamp duty by the Maharashtra government, according to Knight Frank. The property consultant's report released yesterday showed that registrations in October rose by 42% month-on-month and 36% year-on-year. Property transactions require the owner to register title with the government and to pay stamp duty. Metal producers Vedanta and Hindalco, which are India's leading producers of aluminium and copper, were among the top bidders on the first day of Indian coal mine auctions for private companies, spelling the end of decades of government control. Vedanta has offered to share 21% of its revenue from the Radhikapur West mine in eastern Odisha state, while billionaire Kumar Mangalam Birla's Hindalco has bid 14.25% revenue share, which is the highest, for the Chakla mine in neighbouring Jharkhand province, according to a coal ministry statement. Winners will be allowed to mine and sell coal from their blocks, which has so far been a preserve of state companies. In international news, oil has been in focus these past few days. It lost ground after the US and several countries in Europe started reporting a spurt in COVID-19 cases. The second wave is threatening earlier expectations of a rebound in economic activity and therefore demand for oil. Brent crude futures sank below $40 a barrel yesterday to their lowest since May, but have since recovered ground. Discussions between Russian oil companies and Energy Minister Alexander Novak over the possibility of delaying a planned OPEC Plus output have raised optimism that the group won't add more supply than the market can absorb. US markets have begun what's likely to be a volatile week with strong gains. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq gained 1.2 and 0.4% respectively, while the Dow rose 1.6%. 2 of the 3 early risers in the Asia-Pacific region were trading this morning and both had gains of over 1%. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning Hormuz, how are we looking today?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to those tuning in as well. Can you imagine a scenario where the stock with the highest weightage on the index falls 9% and yet the index ends higher? It took the collective might of IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank and a 990-point surge in the Nifty Bank Index to offset the biggest single-day drop in 7 months for Reliance Industries. No global cues, no earnings jitters. It was just banks versus Reliance. Will this continue today? Time will tell. But as is the case every day, we have lots of stocks lined up for you that you need to focus on. First up, Ntpc has announced a share buyback worth over 2200 crore rupees. The buyback price of 115 rupees a share is a 28% premium to Monday's closing price. The record date for the same is set as November 13th. In terms of earnings, higher other income boosted its net profit, while revenues were in line with estimates. Zee Entertainment's profit for the quarter was hit as it set aside nearly 100 crore rupees as provisions against receivables from City Networks. The company's subscription revenue saw a growth of 10%, while advertising revenue was down 26% from last year. Lower sales and higher expenses impacted the company's margins. Cadila Healthcare reported a growth of 11% for its India business, while US sales rose 18% from last year. It also managed to reduce its net debt by over 2,700 crore rupees in the first half of FY21. The company's emerging markets business grew 12% in constant currency terms, so watch out for that stock. Ramco Cements reported better realizations in the September quarter despite price cuts in the southern region. Sales volumes were down close to 19% year-on-year, while EBITDA per ton was at an all-time high of 1,892 rupees. Embassy Office Parks REIT's CEO Michael Holland said that they are seeing early signs of a pickup in deal activity for leasing after COVID-19. Holland said that pre-leasing activity has resumed in Bengaluru. Rental collection for the quarter stood at 99.5%. On to earnings for today. Sun Pharma and Adani Ports will be the two nifty companies that will be reporting results today. Broader market names coming out with results include Adani Gas, Ajanta Pharma, Dabur, Godrej Properties, JSW Energy, Kansai Nerolac, Muthoot Finance, PVR, among many others. On to the 5 other stocks that you need to watch out for aside of earnings. Sterlite Tech, which will acquire 100% stake in Italy's Optotec for 29 million euros. The company is expected to complete the transaction by the end of the calendar year 2020. NCC, which has received orders worth 833 crore rupees from the mining division of Coal India's arms. National Fertilizers, where bentonite sales are up 3.4 times for the current financial year, while the company has registered growth in the sale of all non-urea fertilizers. Supreme Petrochem, which is set to establish a new line for the production of polyesterine and also enhance the capacity of its EPS plant. The cost for the same is pegged at 250 crore rupees and will be funded through internal accruals. And lastly, Shipping Corporation of India, which will consider a proposal to demerge its non-core assets on the 6th of November. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty indicated that the index traded 60 points higher, around the mark of 11,730. It is set to be another eventful day as we count down to the outcome of the US presidential elections, but we at Bloomberg Quint are going nowhere. We'll keep bringing you all that you need to know going into trade, as well as all the market moving stories. So stay tuned. With that, I wish you a safe day ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz, and as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you in this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website, bloombergquint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.